They just don't want to stress about stuff, right? So the answer is to adopt that as your identity. Don't try to be The Rock. Don't try to be Steve Jobs, right? Yeah, those things exist. You can try to strive to be that if you want to. That's totally cool. But understand, if you're not having fun doing it, then that's a problem. And that's when we come down to this topic of identity, right? So I want to start by saying that other people will always be a part of your identity. That's inevitable. When you adopt a new identity, sometimes you have to abandon your old identity, right? And that's easy enough until you're in your normal social settings where everyone around you, their current identity, is actually more closely aligned with your old identity when you were just like them. So all of a sudden, those people that share your old identity, they have an opinion about your new identity. Everyone has an opinion about your Clovis diet. They start citing research that they've done and you know they're full of shit, but it still bothers the crap out of you. Everybody says stuff like just one bite won't hurt you, or just one drink won't hurt you, or stay out till 5 a.m. just this one time, it won't hurt you, everything in moderation, right? Their identity is lonely and it wants you back. Your identity is now lonely because you feel isolated, so you start pulling back towards your old identity. This is a recipe for disaster. That's it. Sometimes you gotta give up your old social circles completely, right? Like I used to drink 6 nights a week as a musician. I was drunk all the time. All my friends were drunk all the time, right? I had to literally stop hanging out with them completely. I disassembled my band. I quit my band and stopped hanging out with people, stopped going to bars, blah, 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 all this stuff, right? And I spent a lot of time alone, by myself, for years actually. Just learning, researching, growing, exploring myself, right? Now, about 7 years later, I had to cement that new identity. So here I am, like probably 7 years later, right? I can hang out with those same old people now. I can. No problem. And exactly none of them will attempt to peer pressure me whatsoever. Why? Because they know exactly who I am within 5 minutes of me walking through the door. Not because I tell them who I am, but because they can feel it because I own it. Like I wish all of you could spend a week with me. I would take you to as many social settings as possible so you could just see how few people actually challenge me on anything, right? Why? Because I own this thing, right? So if I'm offered a drink and I say no thanks, or I'm offered bullshit food and I decline, whatever, if someone finds out I own a nutrition company and they want to try to come at me with some vegan bullshit, right? I just handle it. These tiny interactions last about 60 seconds, then we move on to something, anything else but nutrition, and everybody has a good time. No one's upset, no one's hurt. Why? Because I own this identity, I'm confident in it. What happens is people do this Clovis thing and they walk around timidly, like, yeah, I'm trying this new thing. No, I don't eat bread. Oh, no, I don't want that fruit. Sorry, meh. And then boom, you just open it up. You open it up to just get murdered by everybody around you, right? You just timidly walk around like a scared little kitten, right? Like, no, I'm not eating bread. Yeah, cool. What else is going on? How's the weather? Dumbass. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you need to own this. You need to adopt it as your identity. But again, the problem is, what's underlying in all of this? I've talked about this a million times. It's all just ego. That's it. It's ego, everybody. You care what other people think. At the end of the day, you care what other people think, so much so that you're willing to sacrifice your deepest hopes, dreams, desires, and goals for yourself because of other people's opinions. You're adopting other people's goals, some goal that you saw from some Instagram model, right? You're willing to sacrifice your deepest hopes and dreams because of other people's opinions. Let me tell you, I'm not kidding about this, right? I still get messages. I'll give you a few examples. I still get messages on social media asking me to fight with people's family members. People literally write me messages like, Justin, my family's ganging up on me. What do I say? Tell me what to say about fruit. Tell me what to say about cholesterol. Oh, my in-law is saying that I'm going to kill my kid with this fat. Justin, what do I say? Justin, can you call my dad on the phone? Justin, can I set up a video call with you and my dad so you can tell him how wrong he is about heart disease? What? Right? And I give them the same answer. Now, some of you are going to laugh because I've given you this answer, right? I always respond the same way. I go, well, it sounds to me like that entire room could use a big ego check. You would all have a far more pleasant experience and enjoy each other's company much more if you would all just admit that you have zero idea what you're talking about. Right? That's the truth. Now I say that, some of you are going to get offended by that because that's your ego as well, right? Odds are the majority of what you know about nutrition has come from my podcast. So I'm saying this with nothing but love. I want to teach you about nutrition. I want you to know about nutrition, right? I want you to teach other people about nutrition. I don't want you to fight with people. I don't want you to set insane goals and do this crazy misalignment thing. That's all I'm trying to say. So if I use a different example, if I were sitting in a room full of people and we're discussing the stock market, right? I know nothing about the stock market. I know nothing, okay? I know a little bit. I read a book about it. Okay, awesome, right? So the other people, they also know nothing about the stock market. Let's admit this. Nobody knows anything about the stock market. The stock market doesn't know anything about the stock market, right? So we're sitting there and we're in a debate. We're arguing. This is crazy. We're all debating something that we know nothing about. Like, I'm not going to get on my phone and be like, hey, Steve, because my brother knows about the stock market. Hey, Steve, what do I say in this argument? Because I want to win this argument. Ego, 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 ego. I want to win. Help me talk about the stock market, right? If somebody comes along that room and they go, hey man, everybody in this room could use an ego check because you're all arguing about something that you have exactly zero idea what you're talking about. I would laugh my ass off and be like, you're absolutely correct. I have no fucking idea what I'm talking about right now. I'm literally just parroting something that I heard somebody else say, and I actually don't know why I have such a strong opinion about this thing that I know nothing about. It's silly, okay? So that's the thing. All I'm saying is you have to align your life with your goals. So I asked you a question about debates, right? You want to debate your friends and family. Okay, so let's talk about goals. Do you want to be Justin? Do you want to start a podcast and do Facebook Lives every week and take on clients and share your vast health and wellness knowledge with the world? Or do you just want a plan you can follow for your life that keeps you happy and healthy, and you couldn't care less about insulin and blood glucose and leptin and glucagon, right? Do you want to be a professional athlete? Or do you just want to have energy and be able to do fun activities with your loved ones? Play wiffle ball with kids on the weekend, right? Do you want to have shredded 12-pack abs and be on the cover of Muscle and Fitness magazine, or do you just want to fit into size 6 jeans? Do you want to live in a mansion and drive a Ferrari? Or do you just want to be debt-free and not worry about the bill at your favorite restaurant? What I'm saying is set reasonable, accurate, honest goals and then align your life with those goals. That, in my opinion, is the key to living a truly fulfilled life.